this to happen, we needed more than mobile devices. We needed a real mobility strategy. Citrix has changed practically every job at Rhaetian Railway. With Zen Mobile and Zen Desktop, everyone is enabled on any device, online and offline. Their applications and data are securely with them at all times. This means now, if a situation arises, emergency teams can react instantly from anywhere. Our response time can be in seconds, not hours. By nature, our conductors are responsible for the safety of the train. This means they had to carry hundreds of pages of safety and technical manuals at all times. Now this critical data is at their fingertips, even in highly remote locations. Citrix has more than improved our productivity. It has unleashed innovation. When people have a completely mobile workspace, they can work on their terms, not on technology's terms. Essentially, Citrix has freed us to focus on what matters most, taking people safely wherever they wish to go.
Okay, so I'll take a few questions on what Citrix is or anything that you saw. Okay, we'll start with the youngest coder, Preeti. Go ahead, Preeti.
Riddhi. It's Riddhi.
Riddhi. Okay, Riddhi. You know, Riddhi, you're going to have to come up and speak in this mic so everybody can hear your question. Come on, let's do that. I'm going to come down.
Mobile.
I'm sorry? Mobile? What about mobile?
There's different kinds.
Is mobile of different kinds? What do you think it is? When you think of mobile, what do you think?
It's a phone.
It's a phone. That's right. Mobile could be a phone. That's right. But mobile could be me working from a cafe, so I don't have to sit in my office. One more example of mobile. Okay, in the back. Yeah, you're. Zen Desktop helps you be mobile, yes. That way you can be working from your classroom, or you can be working from and learning from your kitchen table. Which one would you prefer? Kitchen table, that's right. So that's what mobile is. Okay, all right. Okay, one more question.
So I wonder
Come up here. Yeah, so everybody can hear your question. And say your name so everybody knows who's asking the question.
Hello, my name is Matthew. I'm wondering what Netscaper or that thing was and what interface it works on.
Yeah. So Scott, right? Matthew.
My name is Matthew, yes.
Matthew. So Matthew is saying, what was Netscaler? And what interface does it have and what does it do? So Matthew, that's an excellent question. You get a design pin. It's come and get it. So Netscaler is actually the product that I manage. So I'm, when my engineering team is working, they're working on Netscaler. So anybody used a website, Amazon. Anybody heard of Amazon? Anybody heard of Apple? Everybody should know about those companies, right? Some of these big web monsters, we call them, they all use Netscalers. And what Netscaler does is, when you say, I want to search for a book, I want to search for a toy, I want to search for an app, all these requests go through a Netscaler inside the company to find the book, or find the app, or find the service that you're looking for. So that's what Netscaler does. So Netscaler actually is used by more than 70% of the internet, and 70% of the internet traffic goes through a Netscaler somewhere in the world. So that's what Netscaler is. Good, thank you for asking. One more question. Come up.
my name is Lakshay, and I was just wondering. So you know how in the video you mentioned that the conductor digitalized all his work to the iPhone, but like many other competitors for Citrix have already done that. So how do you like react when you see that a company has done like a faster digitalization than how Citrix has done it?
Yeah, good question. So question is, how do we keep up with our competitors, because obviously other people are also doing what we are doing. So I think competition is always going to be there. If there's no competition, you actually don't know whether you're doing the right thing, because if you're doing the right thing, more people want to do it, so that you can fuel that by working together. So we have to obviously work with our customers to see what truly the value we bring to them. There has to be some differentiators in our product, in the way we integrate it, and the way we are solving those customer problems, that to keep ahead of the competition.
So my name is Nama, and my question is, using that cloud, right, iCloud, can you connect the desktop and the mobiles, like Zen Desktop and Zen Mobile? Can you use that to connect both of them, not just Zen Mobile and Zen Mobile, but Zen Desktop and Zen Mobile?
Okay. And what would that do in your mind?
Like, because you might not always have like a mobile with you or a desktop with you, but like you might have one or the other. So if you can use both, if you have one or the other, and you can connect it with one another, like it'd make it even easier for people to connect with each other, right?
Yeah. The good news is we can do that. Okay. So with the application called Citrix Receiver, that is part of the Zen desktop, and the Zen mobile, you can use any device to launch the Citrix receiver from that application, your device, which Zen Mobile does for you. And once you launch the Citrix receiver, you get your desktop on that device. So they're kind of both connected.
But would it be like the same application doing these different things, or would it be like two different applications of iCloud, like two different versions of cloud?
No, it will be whatever you chose to run from that Citrix receiver, or whatever the company wanted you to use that from Citrix receiver. Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll be that. Okay, so we'll take a few. Let's think what could be done. So ideas on what you might want to see as a mobile thing. Okay. Okay, we have only one hand. Go for it.
Internet of Things.
Internet of Things. So come on over. Tell us what does it mean to you when you say Internet of Things?
Okay, so Internet of Things, pretty much every single thing you use, whereas your fridge or your radio or anything, can be connected to the internet and adapt so that it becomes the latest technology, regardless of how old it is actually. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So tomorrow is going to be about connected devices. Right now it's about connected people through phones, but tomorrow is going to be about connected devices and people, and them all interacting together. So that's one way to think about future. Any other? Okay, so how about I play the last video, and after that, Shivam had some questions, and you might have any other questions. We can take those. Otherwise, we'll call it a wrap. Okay, so this video, take a look and see what the future might be. Thank you. So I know I run out of time. I've used up all of my time, and I think there is some formal coding stuff that you guys have to do to actually make all of this happen. So I'm counting on you guys to bring this future here today or tomorrow. Okay? So keep up the good work. Do what you're doing. I'll be in the back if anybody has any questions for the next few minutes till your class finishes, and then we can talk after that. Okay? All right? Is that good? Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Minu. So our next youth speaker will be Minu Palaniappan, and he's a UC Davis student who's currently working on an early stage startup that improves the social experience on mobile and web platforms. And he also enjoys attending hackathons, and he hopes to have one at Davis this spring. And this summer he'll be working in San Francisco with Kleiner Perkins backed startup, and it improves social creativity tools.
What's a hackathon?
So a hackathon is basically like a 24-hour competition where students will get together and build whatever they want to build, and at the end they'll present what they built, and there's typically like a panel of judges, typically from like the software world, and they will decide who wins the competition, and based on that people get hired, people get prizes and all this stuff, so it's a pretty neat way to practice. All right, guys, it's good to be here. How is everyone today? Good. So just a little bit about myself. As Rishabh said, my name is Minu, and I just finished my first year at UC Davis. I graduated from Saratoga, same graduating class as Rishabh last year. So I'm just going to talk a little bit today about software, why you guys should consider getting into it, and the perks and everything that comes with software. So just to define software to everyone, what I believe software is I think it's the tool to basically interact with computers and tell them what we want to do in the real life world. So just some use cases for software, why people want to use it, is it's very limitless. So there are so many different things you can do with software. As you saw with the last speaker, with Citrix, what they're doing is they're doing so many different things to enhance how we interact with other people and how we interact with machines. So that's just a great example of, how extensive software can be. Second is it's very open source and it's very community driven. So there are often a lot of people that will write code for you, and you can take advantage of the libraries they have already written, and you can use them in your code and kind of build on what other people are doing. And so the advantage to that is that everything's already there for you. You just have to kind of improve and implement what you want on top of it. So I think that's a very cool feature about software. And third, I think the slogan is said a lot, and it came when Java was first introduced by Oracle, and it basically states write once and run everywhere, or run anywhere. And so what this means is you'll write your code once typically, and what you can do once it's been written is you can deploy it to any device you want anywhere. And so naturally your audience is going to be very big, right? Everyone has a phone, everyone has a computer, and so this is a great way to build like a worldwide audience without having to do anything. And fourth, the most important thing, in my opinion, is it solves issues that we have today. So many of the issues we have in the world, such as like hunger, like finding a house or finding where to eat, very simple problems can be fixed with software. And it's very cool to see how people are building great interfaces, great code that will like just enhance how you go about your daily life. And fifth, a lot of people call software the gateway to small empires. And what this really means is that you can be some kid like in a garage or some kid in your house, and you could really just build the next big thing. If you guys have heard of Reddit, that was built in like a dorm room, and now it's one of the biggest ways to scale the web and find the best content that you can see. And you know, that didn't take a lot of money. That just took a lot of work and knowledge and time. And so software gives us the opportunity to have like a level playing field. There may be big companies like Apple or Amazon or Google, but but it's very easy to get into software and become big just on your own. And I think what's most appealing to most people, I think, is that software is a very high demand now these days, but it's very hard to find people that can write great software. And so that's just a basic, like, supply is low and demand is high, and so that's why it's great to get in this field right now, I think. So I'm just gonna show a short video. This is like an Apple campaign for the first iPhone when it was released, and it just, this video was made to just get people into the iPhone and, like the type of capabilities it can do, so.
I was a long-time gamer. I always wanted to do a game. Ever since I was 5, my parents had this Atari 2600 in the basement, and I spent so long just down trying to figure out those games. When I first discovered the iPhone SDK, I saw it was a huge opportunity. I was like, wow, I can do a game on my own terms. What excited me about the platform was just the fact that it was an all-in-one end-to-end toolchain. And I knew iPhone provided a fundamentally new type of gaming experience. And I asked myself, for a game based on touching and tilting, what's a natural evolution point for that? What kind of game would fit best in that? When I started thinking about ideas for the game, at first I wanted to have a web of some kind, and you wanted to pinch the web points in each other. After that I was like, well, I guess I could have like a lattice of intertwined shapes. And I'm like, how about I just make these things blocks? Then my buddy Rob came over and we cut up my phone bill and had 500 triangles. And he said, okay, what can we fit in the screen? And they're still behind the couches somewhere, I don't know. I did the game from idea to demo in 10 days. I would go to work, get home at 5 p.m., code until 5 a.m., and then go to work at 8 a.m. The iPhone SDK was fantastic. You can start writing code, you can download the samples online, and just plug it in. To be able to have, first of all, an inline debugger, a full IDE, code highlighting. Apple saying to you, look, we've dropped this in your hands, just go and just have fun with it. The UI kit, they make it so easy to make animations happen. I had 3 screwhead objects, and being able to rotate those screws is probably not something I would have done if it had been, hard to do, but Apple made it so easy, it's like, why not? It was like a 2 hours worth of work. The very last thing, I told myself I want to put all the features in and then worry about performance.